This episode is brought to you by CoolStuffInc.com, the #1 seller of games and gaming accessories. And GatheringMagic.com, the #1 resource for Magic the Gathering news and articles.
So today I'll be playing Maverick versus Reid Duke, who will be playing his Reanimator deck from Worcester. There's a bit different Maverick list than usual ones. It has 4 Fauna Shaman, low retainers, Elish Norn, and Iona. This combination is pretty powerful. The old survival decks used to have retainers plus Emrakul plus Anger to just go for a quick win. But here is just more of a value thing. Iona is pretty good versus combo decks that you might normally have problems against. Elish Norn pretty good in Mirror and versus other creature decks. Knight is pretty obvious. Zenith is pretty obvious. 2 Jite, I'm not personally in love with the card, but it makes all of your random creatures much better. 1 Mindcensor. Thalia seems pretty solid. Pridemage is solid. Ooze is pretty massive, and it also is graveyard hate. Teague, just another disruptive hate pair. Mother of Runes to protect all of your guys, especially this one, this one, this one, or this one. Sideboard's a bit interesting. You have Gideon Jura, 2 Linvalas, Canist, a 3rd Thalia, 2 Purify to Grave as additional hate spells, graveyard hate spells. Metamorph is kind of interesting. You can search it up with Fauna Shaman and deal with a problematic legend, as well as copy a value artifact, maybe a Batter Skull or an opposing equipment. Spike Feeder, probably not going to be very good versus him. Probably neither for Harmonic Sweeper either. Although, if we think he has Needle in post-board games, it gains a bunch of value. Don't know how to feel about Choke versus him. It's probably not very good, but we'll see if I have enough cards I want to take out. Bog, obviously going to come in versus him, because it's hard for him to beat an active Knight then. Although he might be on the show and tell plan. But we have that pretty well covered by showing into a Knight and then going for Caracas. So, yeah, this is not really the normal Maverick list. And hopefully Reid will challenge me soon. This is kind of an awkward hand, but it seems kind of solid versus him. If I were versus an unknown opponent, I would probably keep it as well. It's a little bit awkward that our second land is a Dryad Arbor. You don't really want to draw it, ever. Thalia is pretty good versus him. Elish Norn, though, But yeah, overall it's a solid hand. So I'm going to choose not to mulligan this hand, and let's go. It's a little bit awkward that this cannot cast my Swords to Plowshares, but I think it's an acceptable risk. Also, I'm not going to be able to cast that Elish Norn off of that. Just thinking while on this Ponder. I guess that's a good sign. Never choose to shuffle, ever. Human. Play this Mother of Runes. Oh boy. It's gonna be one of these games. Yep. That's not good for me. This is really quite the card. Yeah, we're probably dead this game. He's probably going to make his Sphinx as well. Can't imagine he wouldn't. Yep. And we're probably dead. He had a pretty good draw. He takes swords, but it doesn't really matter. Also a little bit late. Maybe he won't attack. Yeah, no chance of that. I'm exactly at 13. It's a pretty awkward life to be at. Yeah, what a creature. And Reanimator's combo deck. Kill me on turn 4. Yeah, based on that game, I don't really think I want Choke versus him. Don't really want Jite. It's too slow. Mindcensor is fine, I guess. I can kill one Pridemage. I want the Bog. Let me just cut the second Pridemage. Go to... Bog is not really a land. I mean, it technically is, but you aren't really going to ever play it from your hand. So I have to worry about Massacre and Perish from him. Those are pretty good versus me. At the same time, I can probably set up a lot of reactive cards versus him. Make it pretty tough for him to win. It's kind of possible I want Canonist, so he can't have counterspell backup when I purify his thing. But I think that's way too situational. And I guess he's thinking about what to take out. Just thought about it. I probably want Harmonic Sliver versus him and the Pridemages to kill his needles. So, Wonder of Runes is not actually great versus him. Yes, I would like to play first. This hand's very good. It was also slightly questionable to keep that hand last game without an accelerator on turn 1. Maverick is kind of slow, but this hand's pretty good. mulligans. It doesn't matter that much for a reanimator. They're not looking for a critical mass of cards, only a few particular cards. So we go land Hierarch. So to play around days, I'm gonna just play Ooze first. Yeah, play Ooze. So if he dazes here, which he won't, I would just pay with Hierarch. And if he doesn't daze, I at least get in for one. If he had led with Swamp, I probably wouldn't even attack. And if he had led with Swamp, I would tap my Hierarch for mana to leave Savannah up for Ooze and Swords. Because turn 1 Swamp implies that he can entomb and then reanimate on his turn. Ooze is too threatening, I guess. Makes sense. This is sort of awkward. I'm gonna leave up Swords of Plowshares. Probably was holding that brainstorm for a while, but he didn't know what he needed yet. So it's correct for him to sandbag it for that long. Plus it's better to brainstorm main phase often in a deck like this. Let's see if he finds a fetch land. Or an entomb. There's fetch land. So we have a few options here. I think I'm gonna play Knight. Yeah, I'm gonna play Knight. Again, leaving up mana for Fauna Shaman / well, actually I don't have any creatures in my hand for Fauna Shaman, so I'll get in for 3. Yeah, sometimes this will happen with his deck. It just won't do anything. That was slightly bad. Shouldn't have even played it, probably. Well, I'm gonna go get another Scavenging Ooze. Oh, yeah. I need another Scavenging Ooze. It's gonna make it pretty tough for him to win. I think he's in pretty bad shape here. Oh wait, he might have Perish. It's kind of hard to play around Perish with this deck, but I definitely could have. Just have to hope he doesn't have it here. But yeah, I could have just by not casting Mother Runes, leaving a Fauna Shaman activation up to go get another Knight, or, you know, something else. Yeah, that was bad. Luckily, he doesn't seem to be doing much this game. get Caracas. Oh. Yeah, I get Caracas. He's at 11, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's lethal, I think. Eat my own ooze. 8, 9, 10, 11, yeah. So yeah, that can occasionally happen, they just don't draw anything. But I wouldn't rely on that happening. Yeah, the thing about Choke is, Reid played in such a way that Choke wouldn't have even been good that game. And I think it's just much worse versus better players anyways, so... Yeah, I guess I keep this hand. So far the games were not that interesting, but I think that might be a function of the matchup. Since his deck is kind of just designed to be very degenerate. Hopefully Brick's here. I'd really prefer for him not to have the same draw he did the first game. That is not good. That is certainly an angel of despair. Maybe he just won't have it. But he discarded an Exhume. That's a really bad sign for me. I mean, don't really have a choice. Or... what? I guess he just had no counters in hand. Either way, I'm fine with that. One name human. Play this annoying creature. Oh, shit. Oh. I'm supposed to tap that for white. Oh, there we go. That's a green mana. Get in for another 2. I'm gonna play knight here. So he's casting a cantrip, I think, but Dahlia, yeah, he's cracking a... Yep, there's the cantrip. So, let's see, what is the most threatening play he could have? Can't play Show and Tell this turn. He also can't Entomb plus reanimate something this turn, so I'm not that afraid of anything, really. I guess that's slightly irritating. It's gonna name Knight of the Reliquary. Well, it should name Knight of the Reliquary, but yeah. So, the plays I can make are leave up mana for both Plow or Purify, and play Mother Runes. That's probably right. Well, I guess that is a massacre. So I guess now he could have Entomb plus Reanimate. Luckily I have both Plow and Purify. So he would need his hand to be Entomb, Reanimate, Daze. But that still doesn't really do it because he's probably going to shuffle now. Unless of his top card. Well, the third card is real good. Does he shuffle? No. Huh. I should crack the fit before I actually hit him. Since he's conveniently at 8. You also can't cast Reanimate now, so... what do I want to play here? I think probably Thalia. Yeah. Well, with my Thalia in the stack, I'm just going to Purify. Well... Yeah, I have to Purify whatever he gets. So the reason I did that was I really didn't want him to untap. Alright, I think I have him covered with Swords to Plowshares. Yeah, I do. Let's see, he goes to 11. Oh, he goes to 10. 7, 8, 9. Okay, anyway, that's 10. And that's match 1. So what really happened that game was, I think he had an awkward hand, and Purify the Grave is really good for him. Yeah, like, he couldn't really cast his spells in an efficient manner because of Thalia. Maybe I should be playing the full form post board, but I don't know. You saw that a second one was stranded in my hand for most of the game until he massacred me. Anyway, yeah, that was an interesting game. Okay, on to match 2. Double right deck. I think the matchup is actually pretty close, but Maverick might be slightly favored. That's how I felt before, but I guess Gristlebrand is really like the ideal fatty. Ugh. I'm gonna run with this. It might be right to mulligan. I'm not really sure. I think it's on the cusp of you should mulligan it. I think this is a brick. The thing is, like, you only have 4 accelerants? Well, 8, I guess. But I always seem to draw the Arbor. Man, he might go for the discard of Fatty. That would be exciting. Be on the draw, discard. Just reanimate on turn 2 without needing Entomb or Careful Study. It can be right. Nah, he's not going for that. If I didn't know he was Reanimator, I would be tempted to leave it back. Does he have Entomb? He probably has Entomb. Like, Reid's not gonna just randomly sacrifice a fetch land for no value. Okay. This is somewhat unfortunate. It's also unfortunate that, like, I didn't just have Caracas in my hand. Because I could just try to kill him next turn. Yeah, he probably has the fatty he needs in hand, so he's just gonna discard it this way. Oh boy. So there's some creatures. Certainly in charge. Large and in charge. So here, I actually don't want to attack with Mother Runes, because his most likely play is reanimate Angel of Despair, try to kill Knight, and 1 damage is not really worth it by this point. Yep, that's a zoom. Or you could just get Blazing Archon, which is almost certainly better to get here. Because I could definitely race an Angel. Ah, there's the Angel. So Reid knows that there's no way I can really interact with him besides the combat zone. So yeah, this is not looking good. I'm gonna dig with a Horizon Canopy. Hope to draw something good. what can I go get here? That's fast enough. None of these really. Really just need to draw a pile and hope he doesn't have force. I'm dead in 2 turns. It's not really ideal. Incidentally, if I had Maze in my main, it would buy me a lot more turns. But I don't think Maze is really worth it in the main deck right now. Is there anything I can do here? No, I don't think so. Nope. Alright. Get GTAs out. Get 2 Mother Runes out. Get that out. Bog, Metamorph. Yeah. I guess I might want Harmonics over the, yeah, probably want Harmonic over the 3rd Mother of Runes, just to kill Needle. So, yes, I would like to play first. This perfectly reasonable hand. Again, always drawing the fatty. But it's actually fine with this hand. Go get our friend Dried Oven. Let's see what he does here. Huh. I'm not sure I agree with that here. Like, there are so many things in my deck that I could have. Doesn't really know what to name. That's cute. Alright, well, I'm definitely naming human with this thing. Question is, I think it's the answer for Fauna Shaman. Yeah. If I draw land, I can activate. Yeah, activate, then activate Fauna Shaman, get Oil Retainers via discarding this. Cast it off of that because Oil Retainers is a human. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. Also, if you guys are wondering why he main phase draws, he just wants to have control over what he's discarding for reanimating next turn. So it's pretty much right. Land? Damn it. This is a rough spot. I'm trying to decide if it's better to metamorph his guy, or if I should go get a mana guy and try to set Biona next turn. I think I'm gonna metamorph his guy. can still redraw to land this turn to make an Iona, but I'm not sure if that's actually going to be enough. It seems very rough here. Oh, I think it's better late than never. He probably was not expecting this. But it might be too late for this game for it to actually make a difference. But it'll probably affect his plays in other games. I think I named black. His deck is mostly black spells. I think I just have to take the hit here, block with a Mindcensor next turn, or let's see what else can I draw. Well, Thalia is basically useless right now, so I'm going to figure out what I could do here to win the game. Get... Maybe I should have just blocked last turn. Yeah, now I have to block. Which means I should have just blocked last turn. He should have drawn? No. Okay. That makes sense. Just gonna take Mindcensor probably. Reid is just still had all thesing me. And I'm dead. So that match showed that Reanimator is still a pretty degenerate deck, and it's still very, very possible for you to lose to them. Like, my draw was reasonable, but his draw was better. And that'll happen when you're playing a fair deck like Maverick. Alright, next match. I think I will keep this hand. Pretty good. If he leads with Swamp on 1, I'm just going to play Caracas instead of Zenithing. Well, actually I might not. Let's see what he does though. Certainly not going to mulligan this hand. I'm not as a huge a fan of this card as other people are. It was very good in Stoneforge because they needed this type of effect to kill creatures. I'm not a huge fan of it in Maverick, but it's still good. So I'm gonna Zenith. That was not ideal. I might just play an uncounterable Ooze here, actually. I think his deck is not good versus in game 1. Like, Ooze plus Caracas is gonna be pretty hard for him to get out of. I'm just gonna leave up green mana all the time. Might even just leave up 2 green mana. It'd be pretty hard for him to win. If I want to leave up 2 green mana, means I just play Jite. I really don't think he can beat 2 green mana left up all the time. He's desperate. Because, like, Jite is not even good versus him, really. Just gonna keep attacking for 2. Yeah, he knows he can't win when I just leave up 2 green mana. Yeah. Mother of Runes, get out. The Druka Bog in for the last Mother of Runes. So yeah, Uncarnable Ooze beat him that game single-handedly. That'll probably happen more often than not. Also, it's been interesting. Wasteland really wouldn't have done anything versus him in all these games, even though his deck is land white. I think part of it is Reid has been fetching basics as much as possible. And, yeah, I mean, that's basically it. Here I definitely play Caracas. Let's see what he does here. Yeah, that's mildly irritating. I think I'm actually just going to play Pridemage here, which he has to counter, given the way this game's playing out. so I played a fetched and cracked it there. I just want to make knight a 3/3 because of Massacre. This looks like a show and tell. Nope. He's just gonna prove me wrong at every single juncture. And yeah, just look at it. He's been playing around Wasteland every possibility. Ugh. This is kind of gross. Yeah, that's actually super gross. I think I can actually grow a knight big enough to block it. So I guess that's the plan we're on. Yeah, even as soon as next turn I'll be able to block it with my guy. This is the other thing I don't like about Reanimator. Sometimes you just don't get to pick your best guy to make, because you don't have Mystical Tutor for Entomb every game. Ugh, that's real bad for me. Let's see if I can find something that gets me out of this situation. It's not looking very likely now. I mean, I do have 5 turns. Maybe I don't. Yeah, don't have 5 turns anymore. Also, if you're playing against Reanimator with any sort of Force of Will deck, it's almost certainly correct to fight over Entomb rather than a reanimation spell, because they have a lot less ways to get a creature into their graveyard than they have reanimation spells. Yeah, it doesn't even... he knows it doesn't matter. Just gonna take 3 at a time until I draw a plow. I would really like to draw a plow. And I've lost. Well, I probably lost. Yeah, I've lost. Do I want to change anything from being on the play? I don't think so. And we definitely have to mulligan this hand. This hand is additionally pretty bad. If I draw a green source, I'm in good shape. But I think I can't really keep a solo hand versus him. And that's much better, actually. I wonder if he's just gonna blind needle Caracas every time. It's probably right for him to do so. Talia's really good versus him, though. what he's got here. Yep. Oh, there goes my idiot. So what this probably indicates him EOT brainstorming is he's going to use all of his mana this turn. I don't imagine he would do that very often. He's going to take my Swords of Plowshares. Although, I guess he's afraid of Fauna Shaman? No, he's not. Yeah, so he's gonna make a giant guy. It's possible he should have careful studied first, although... I'm not sure, actually. Alright, so let's draw... I'm gonna go get Scavenging Ooze. Play this forest. So this is why I really like Fauna Shaman in this deck. So I get his Sphinx. I mean, he has to... Oh, he's going to entomb in response. God damn it. Yep. Although... guess I get Dahlia, so he can't play a Needle, or... Yeah, basically so he can't play a Needle. I guess he could still play Massacre, but that's fine. So it didn't really matter what I got them. It's probably just better to leave mana up, actually. Like, this forces him to have Show and Tell instead, or Needle. But yeah, Gristlebrand, very impressive so far. I'm sure you guys are shocked. Apparently we're going deeper in the tank. The Moon Ponder. Kind of miss the R1 Ponder. Good old Morfolk. Oh, this Scavenging Ooze is good versus him. Let's see. Yeah, I just eat all my guys. Put some... It means he can't crack that fetch. That's a good draw. It's probably better to leave up Ooze than to leave up Caracas. Also, yeah, I'm not... I guess there's probably something you could have to get out of this situation. But like he didn't have Perish last turn because he would have definitely just killed the Ooze off of his fetch. Okay. I have to think he names Caracas here? No. No. This is sort of unfortunate. Well, he's not going to get Gristlebrand or Elishnorn. I guess he might get Angel of Despair? Or Blazing Archon? Probably Archon now that I think about it. But he can't really protect it. Nah, he got Archon. He's at 8, so... Well, and he's not dead. And, yeah, this is why I'm not really that afraid of mulliganing versus them. It's much more important to have a hand that can disrupt them somehow, rather than keeping a hand that needs to draw out. And my 5-card hand was much better than my 7-card hand, which relied on drawing on a green by turn 2. Let's see, how many green sources do I have? For 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So yeah, not really very good probability of doing so. So, to summarize, I think the matchup is very close versus Reanimator. I think Maverick is slightly ahead, but it's close enough that I wouldn't really be comfortable playing against it. You have a lot of good cards versus them, and sometimes they get extremely awkward draws. Purify is pretty annoying for them, as well as the Bog, Metamorph. And like, just in general, your deck has enough disruption versus them between the Oozes and Thalias and Swords of Plowshares that I think you can force them into awkward spots often enough to turn it into at least like a 55% matchup. Clearly, Reid did get some very good draws versus me, and that's going to happen because his deck is degenerate. But I think overall, you're ahead versus them. And yeah, that's about it. I think Maverick is a solid choice. I like a list like this because you can get a very explosive draw and just Elishnorn your opponent in mirror matches very quickly. not a huge GTA fan, as I mentioned. Especially they're kind of terrible versus all of the combo decks, so I would strongly consider cutting them and just play a Metamorph and another Thalia in the main. Thalia was real good. But yeah, hopefully I can do more videos for you guys real soon. Just let me know what kind of things you want to watch, and I'll try to get some things recorded.